So today is the disappearance day of Vasudev Ghosh, who's one of Lord Chaitanya's principal associates, and we'll read briefly about him before we begin a new chapter, which is the marriage of Samba. So before that, we'll sing Ye Nila Premadana, and we will... and then we will begin with then we'll read about the activities and pastimes briefly about Vasudev Ghosh. Ye Anila Premadana Karuna Prachu 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 Hena Prabhu Kota Gela Acharya Thakur Hena Prabhu Kota Gela Acharya Thakur Kahamora Swarupa Rupa Kaha Sanatan Kahamora Rupa Rupa Kaha Sanatan Kaha Dasa Raghunatha Patita Pavan Kaha Dasa Raghunatha Patita Pavan Kahamora Bhatta Yuga Kaha Kaviraj Kahamora Bhatta Yuga Kaha Kaviraj Eka Kale Kota Gela Gora Natara Eka Kale Kota Gela Gora Natara Pashane Kutiba Mata Anole Pashiva Mashane Kutiba Mata Anole Pashiva Goranga Gunera Nidi Kota Gele Pabo Goranga Gunera Nidi Kota Gele Pabo Om Se Sabba Sangira Sange Ye Koi Lo Bila Se Sabha Sangira Sange Ye Koi Lo Bila Se Sangha Napaya Kande Narotamodas Se Sangha Napaya Kande Narotamodas Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada He who brought the treasure of divine love and who was filled with compassion and mercy, where is such a personality as Srinivasa Acharya gone? Where are my Swarup Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatan? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where are my Raghunath Bhatta and Gopal Bhatta? And where is Krishnadas Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against the rock and enter into fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all these devotees in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottam Das simply weeps. So today, as I said before, we're commemorating the passing away or leaving this material world of Vasudev Ghosh, and we'll read briefly about him. He had two brothers, and that's not what I want. Sorry. Here we go. The three brothers, Sri Vasudev Ghosh, Sri Madhava Ghosh, and Sri Govinda Ghosh, were very expert singers. Sri Nityananda Prabhu himself would dance as they sang. According to some, their maternal uncle's house was in the village of Buran, or Burangi, in Sielet, which is Sri Hatta now. Their father later took up residence in Kumarahatta. After residing there for some time, the three brothers came to live at Navadvip. They were born in the family of Uttara Radia Kayastas and were very intimate associates of Sri Nitai Gauranga. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes that they are immediate expansions of Srimati Radhika's body. All three of them composed very sweet songs describing the Leelas of Sri Gaurasundar and Sri Krishna. They have particularly described the childhood pastimes of Gaurahari, his Sankirtan pastimes and acceptance of sannyas, as well as descriptions of the beauty of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. According to Gaur Gonadesha Deepika, Sri Govinda, Sri Madhava, and Sri Vasudeva were in Vrajalila as Kalavati, Rasolasa, and Gunatinga Sakis. Vasudeva and Madhava were sent with Nityananda to preach in Bengal. Govinda stayed some time with Mahaprabhu in Nilachal. Every year they would come to Puri to see Mahaprabhu and perform kirtan during Rath Yatra. Later in life they took up residence in different places. Sri Govinda lived in Agradweep, Sri Madhava in Dainhat, and Sri Vasudeva in Tamluk. And another place here we have some songs composed by Vasudev Ghosh, and this is the translation. If Lord Gora had not appeared in this age of Kali, then how could we tolerate living? He has given the very essence, the very charm of life divine, love without which it is impossible to live in this world. Without Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how could we ever know that Srimati Radharani reigns supreme in the kingdom of divine love? Having received all these things from Lord Gaurahari, now we think life is worth living. In another bhajan, he sings, in your former life as Lord Ramachandra, you became famous for constructing a floating bridge of stones across the sea to Sri Lanka. Now in this Kali Yuga, you have given us the bridge of Harinam Sankirtan, by which even the lame and blind can cross the sea of birth and death and attain the supreme spiritual happiness. Vasudev Ghosh is Gunatunga Saki in Radha Madhava's Nitya Leela, Nikunja Vraja Leela. His samadhi is in the 64 samadhis area. Sri Vasudev Ghosh Ki Jai. So we can only imagine of how many exalted personalities were here with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it was just a few minutes ago, by eternal time standard or by Brahma's time standard, only 500 years ago, that they were on this planet giving everyone their association. So now we will move to the new chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 So today we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 68 and verse 1. And I'm going to read the summary first because it will give some idea of what this story is about. It is a narration. It doesn't contain, quote, philosophy so much, although the first verse, which we'll cover today, is a slightly different category than most of the others. This chapter describes how the Kauravas captured Samba, and how Lord Baladev dragged the city of Hastinapur to secure his release. Samba, the darling son of Jamavati, kidnapped Duryodhana's daughter Lakshmana from her Swayamvara assembly. A bad idea, at least in one way. In response, the Kauravas joined forces to arrest him. After Samba held them off single-handedly for some time, 6 warriors of the Kaurava party deprived him of his chariot, broke his bow to pieces, seized him and tied him up, and brought him and Lakshmana back to Hastinapur. When King Ugrasena heard of Samba's capture, he called upon the Yadavas to retaliate. Angered, they prepared to fight. But Lord Balaram pacified them, hoping to avoid a quarrel between the Kuru and Yadu dynasties. The Lord set off for Hastinapur together with several Brahmanas and Yadava elders. The party of Yadavas set up camp in a garden outside the city, and Lord Balaram sent Uddhava to ascertain King Dhritarashtra's frame of mind. When Uddhava appeared in the Kaurava court and announced Lord Balaram's arrival, the Kauravas worshipped Uddhava and went to see the Lord, taking auspicious items to offer him. The Kauravas honored Balaram with rituals and items of respect, but when he conveyed Ugrasena's demand that they release Samba, they became angry. They said, it is very amazing, they said, that the Yadavas are trying to give orders to the Kauravas. This is like a shoe trying to climb atop one's head. It is from us alone that the Yadavas have obtained their royal thrones, and yet now they are presuming themselves our equals. No longer will we extend to them royal privileges. So the Yadu dynasty is not in the terms of society as exalted as the Kuru dynasty. Having said this, the Kaurava nobles went inside their city, and Lord Balaram decided that the only way to deal with those who are maddened by false prestige is through brute punishment. Thus he took his plow weapon, and intending to rid the earth of all the Kurus, he began dragging Hastinapur toward the Ganges. Seeing that their city was in imminent danger of falling into the river, the terrified Kauravas quickly brought Samba and Lakshman before Lord Balaram and began to glorify him. Then they prayed, "O Lord, please forgive us who were so ignorant of your true identity." Baladev assured the Kauravas that he would not harm them, and Duryodhana presented various wedding gifts to his daughter and new son-in-law. Then Duryodhana, extending his greetings to the Yadavas, requested Lord Baladev to return to Dwarka with Samba and Lakshmana. Shri Shukuvacha Duryodhana Sutam Rajan Lakshmanam Samitim Jaya Swayamvarastam Arharat Sambojamba Vati Sutta Duryodhana Sutam Rajan Lakshmanam Samitim Jaya Swayamvarastam Arharat Sambojamba Vati Sutta. Devotees? Yugavacha Lakshmanam Samitim Jaya Ayamarastamararat Sambojambavati Sutta Duryodhana Sutam Rajan Lakshmanam Samitim Jaya Vayamvarastamarharat Sambojambavati Sutta. Yeah, ladies? Duryodhana Sutam Rajan Lakshmanam Samitim Jaya Swayamvarastamarharat Sambojambavati Sutta. Shri Shukavacha Duryodhana Sutam Rajan Lakshmanam Samitim Jaya Svayamvarastam Arharat Sambojambavati Sutta. Duryodhana Sutam Rajan Lakshmanam Samitim Jaya Ayamvarastam Arharat Sambhavam Bhavati Sutta. Sri Shukavacha. Shukadev Goswami said, Duryodhana Sutam, the daughter of Duryodhana. Rajan, O King Parikshit. Lakshmanam, named Lakshmana. Samitim Jaya, victorious in battle. Swayamvara, in her Swayamvara ceremony. Stam, situated. Arharat, stole. Sambaha, Samba. Jambavati Sutta, the son of Jambavati. Translation and purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Shukadeva Goswami said, O king, Jambavati's son Samba, ever victorious in battle, kidnapped Duryodhana's daughter Lakshmana from her Swayamvara ceremony. Please repeat. Shukadeva Goswami said, O king, Jambavati's son Samba, ever victorious in battle, kidnapped Duryodhana's daughter, Lakshmana, from her Swayamvara ceremony. And here's the purport, which is coming from Krishna book. In Krishna, Srila Prabhupada explains this event as follows. Duryodhana, the son of Dhritarashtra, had a marriageable daughter by the name of Lakshmana. She was a very highly qualified girl of the Kuru dynasty, and many princes wanted to marry her. In such cases, the Swayamvara ceremony is held so that the girl may select her husband according to her own choice. In Lakshmana's Swayamvara ceremony, when the girl was to select her husband, Samba appeared. He was the son of Krishna by Jambavati, one of the chief wives of Lord Krishna. This son, Samba, is so named because, being a very bad child, he always lived close to his mother. The name Samba indicates that this son was very much his mother's pet. Amba means mother and Sa means with. So this special name was given to him because he always remained with his mother. He was also known as Jambavati Sutta for the same reason. As previously explained, all the sons of Krishna were as qualified as their great father, Lord Krishna. Samba wanted the daughter of Duryodhana, Lakshmana, although she was not inclined to have him. Therefore, Samba kidnapped Lakshmana by force from the Swayamvara ceremony. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Basai Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharani Nirvasesa Shunyavadi Brashachadeshtarni Vanchakalpa Charubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Pyevacha Pititanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We'll read from the Tika of Jiva Goswami. It's exactly the same as the Tika of Sanatana Goswami. And I'm actually going to just read a section here it's from the Harivamsa. Since Pradyumna and Samba were thus of almost the same age, the incident told now actually happened previously, because the stories in the Bhagavatam aren't always in chronological order. The story is now mentioned in relation to Balaram's prowess. We're hearing more about Balaram's great strength. According to previous comments, the birth of Pradyumna and the marriage of Krishna with Jambavati are narrated in the Bhagavatam in reverse order. Thus, the order presented in the text is only the order in which Parikshit heard the events. Because Jambavati was dear to Krishna, Krishna was very affectionate to her son Samba. She prayed for a son as beautiful as Pradyumna. When Krishna performed austerities to glorify his great devotee Shiva, Samba was born. He was called Samba because he always stayed with his mother out of affection for her, according to Dana Dharma Mahabharata. His name is therefore Samba, with his mother, not Shamba. Okay. It's interesting that we can go to the Srimad Bhagavatam, the prayers of Queen Kunti, and she speaks about the pastimes of Krishna. These pastimes are extraordinary, and they cannot be really understood by one's materially conditioned consciousness. Our minds cannot understand the stories about Krishna as we would understand a news story or an historical event within this material world, because by their very nature, the pastimes of the Lord are transcendental. Actually, I'm going to read something else from the Bhagavatam, because this is a verse I just saw this morning, and it's from Lord Brahma in the 14th chapter of the 10th canto. This is verse number 37. And Brahma says, My dear master, although you have nothing to do with material existence, you come to this earth and imitate material life just to expand the varieties of ecstatic enjoyment for your surrendered devotees. Pritranaya sadhunam, that's first. Vinashayasa duskritam, that's second. In other words, he's coming to enliven the devotees. And as a byproduct, he's getting rid of the demons. And one of the reasons he's getting rid of the demons is because he has to fight the demons, and in the spiritual world, he doesn't fight demons because there aren't any demons. You know, we read from the acharyas the different activities in the spiritual world, the personalities are there, like Kali is there, but instead of him being this snake that has to be driven out of the Yamuna because of the poison, he becomes sort of like a jet ski for Krishna to zoom around on the Yamuna. It's not like the same mood. So Krishna comes, Paritranaya Sadhunam, first for the devotees, and that's what's being said here by Lord Brahma. And that's what's being conveyed to us in all the stories of the Bhagavatam. The amazing human-like, as it's been said. He's human-like, but he's not human. You have nothing to do with material existence. You come to this earth and imitate material life just to expand the varieties of ecstatic enjoyment for your surrendered devotees. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments on this verse. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur points out that just as a lamp does not seem to shine as brightly in sunlight as it does in the shade, or as a diamond does not seem as brilliant on a silver platter as it does on a plate of blue glass, the Lord's pastimes as Govinda do not seem as amazing in the transcendental abode of Vaikuntha as they do within the material realm of Maya. Lord Krishna comes to the earth and acts toward his pure devotees exactly like a devoted son, a boyfriend, husband, father, friend, and so on. And within the darkness of material existence, these brilliant, liberated pastimes give unlimited ecstasy to the surrendered souls surrendered devotees of the Lord. In the spiritual world, the activities of Krishna and his devotees are just normal. It's just like a miracle every day, a miracle every second, a miracle every moment. Everything's just wonderful. Srimati Radharani never cooks the same thing twice for eternity. Trying to get our heads around that one. Cooks everything different every day and forever. This isn't something that we see in the material world. So Krishna's pastimes, which are glorious in the spiritual world, when they come down here, they're like technicolor, high brightness, unbelievable, because we live in a cave of darkness, and he brings in light from the spiritual world. So we're reading all these wonderful pastimes in the 10th canto, and they are the culmination of the tattva, or we have this play between Lila and tattva. Tattva, that's philosophy, broadly speaking. Jiva tattva, Vishnu tattva, different, we can add the word tattva to so many different categories of knowledge. So this tattva is there, and we really see the tattva, especially in Bhagavad Gita and the early cantos of the Srimad Bhagavatam, first and second cantos especially. And this tattva is like the superstructure of the great, huge skyscraper of Krishna's pastimes. So, a big skyscraper has to have a very strong superstructure. The under layer of the foundational and the girders and the steel supports, etc., which are underlying the beautiful exterior architecture. So the architecture of Leela stands on tattva. So these stories of the 10th canto, which appear very amazing. I mean, here's God negotiating with personalities who have stolen or kidnapped his, Balaram in this case, his brother, who's also God, his brother's son, because his son has kidnapped the daughter of their enemy from her own wedding ceremony. And so he comes to negotiate, talk reason to them. And when they don't listen to reason, they actually stand up to him and say, who are you? I mean, how can they say that? I mean, they're in the pastimes of Krishna. Well, this is all part of the Leela. And so he gets angry and he starts dragging the whole city to dump it into the river. And he does it with a plow. Now, normally we think of a plow as something, rather, inconsequential, especially a plow that you might put behind an oxen. I mean, it's hard for anybody to believe that you could take that plow and pull anything into the river except maybe some dirt. But Balaram has this, plow weapon, and he's dragging the whole city, like dragging, New York City into the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, so they all become disturbed, and they surrender to him. And all this is just a pastime, and it's meant to be relished and enjoyed and understood in our hearts. And as our hearts are purified through chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and leading a certain controlled and focused life, in which we try to put Krishna into every moment of our life, somehow, through a service, through a meditation of some sort, through just being surrounded by devotees. We could spend all our time doing so many things in this world. And the people do all sorts of stuff just for fun, just to pass time. And and because of the different modes of nature, it can be really disgusting or it can be sort of refined. But all of it doesn't lead anywhere except to another birth. The only way out of the cycle of birth and death is to engage in the transcendental. It is to engage in a process of transcendental service. Well, service, but others may be doing some kind of yoga. So there's transcendental activities. But the only transcendental activity that will actually give us absolute and eternal placement within the spiritual realm is devotional service. You know, the devotees, or not the devotees, the Mayavadis may actually become able to enter into the, quote, spiritual realm, which is the Brahman. But they cannot stay there, because in the Brahman, they're simply a little speck of a little soul floating around in the light emanating from Krishna. Brahmano hi pratistaham, the last verse of the 14th chapter. I am the source of Brahman. It's not that Brahman is the source of really anything. It is coming from Krishna. So by engaging in these in hearing about these pastimes, our lives become connected to the eternal life of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in our case, we're being given the most wonderful opportunity to not just enter into Vaikuntha, which is a realm of eternity, but in awe reverence. No one really has intimate pastimes with Lord Narayan. He's God, and he's very big and important, and we can have some sort of servitude toward him, but there's not the full range of wonderful pastimes. The Lord as Narayan is not going to have a mother who ties him up because he's a bad boy. In fact, Narayan doesn't have any Lord Vishnu in Vaikuntha, Lord Narayan. He doesn't have a childhood pastime. He's God. He's eternally God. But Krishna, he's eternally God in so many different ways. Boyfriend, husband, son, friend, and it's all based upon what the devotees of the Lord really want to relate to him as. And we've been given this really great opportunity because Srila Prabhupada, coming in the line from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda, and then the 6 Goswamis before that, back to Lord Chaitanya, we have the opportunity, rare opportunity, to actually connect with Krishna in intimate pastimes, special pastimes. We sing this whole month to Lord Damodar about relishing his pastimes as a little child being bound by his mother. To the devotees who are attached to his eternal aspect of Narayan in Vaikuntha, the Lord herein reveals, I am conquered and overwhelmed by pure loving devotion. I mean, greater than the prayers of the Vedas, greater than the austerities of great yogis trying to see him in the heart, is the fact that he runs around being chased by his mother. And he acts in ways which agitate her. And then she acts in ways which frighten him. How's that? And this is because there is intense love. And it's this intense love of God that we've been given an opportunity to taste. Kunti Devi speaks, this is what I was going to originally talk about, 3 verses in her prayers. Canto 1, Chapter 8, this is verse 29. O Lord, no one can understand your transcendental pastimes, which appear to be human and are so misleading. You have no specific object of favor, nor do you have any object of envy. People only imagine that you are partial. And then Prabhupada writes, the Lord's mercy upon the fallen souls is equally distributed. He has no one as the specific object of hostility. The very conception of the personality as a human being is misleading. His pastimes appear to be exactly like a human being's, but actually they are transcendental and without any tinge of contamination. It's really important to understand this. When we get angry in this material world, we have anger's a contamination. You know, someone did something that bothered us because we don't do it that way, and he did it wrong, or she just did something that's just stupid, and therefore I have to, in fact, I can't stand to see that because it really bothers me. And then we start yelling or, doing things. The anger is based upon what I think in my contaminated consciousness. Lord doesn't have that. The Lord is completely free from contamination, so that his anger is a pure anger. What does that mean? That means that those who are inimical to him, the only way he can really deal with them in a relationship is to be inimical to them. Otherwise, you just don't go up to Hiranyakashipu and say, Hiranyakashipu, I really love you. Hiranyakashipu doesn't think in those terms. He'll just take advantage of you. But if you come up to Hiranyakashipu as a fierce lion, he says, oh, what a fight. I can fight this lion. And he valiantly fights to death. But that is a relationship, not to be understood by the materialistic mind. She says in the next verse, of course it is bewildering, O soul of the universe, that you work, though you are inactive, and that you take birth, though you are the vital force and the unborn. You yourself descend amongst animals, men, sages, and aquatics. Verily, this is bewildering. And then Prabhupada writes, the transcendental pastimes of the Lord are not only bewildering, but also apparently contradictory. In other words, they are all inconceivable to the limited thinking power of the human being. The Lord is the all-pervading supersoul of all existence, and yet he appears in the form of a boar amongst the animals, in the form of a human being as Ram, Krishna, etc., in the form of a rishi like Narayan, and in the form of an aquatic like a fish. So how can we understand him? How can we understand? We can only understand by surrendering ourselves to the lotus feet of our Gurudev, who himself is connected to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the heart, and also through the parampara. Srila Prabhupada certainly was connected with Krishna in the heart and gave instructions from himself that were directly Krishna's dictations to him. Yet, at the same time, he'll always say, it's my spiritual master's mercy that I understand anything. And therefore, he would say, because I am connected to the parampara, therefore I can be a bona fide spiritual master. So both are there. And it's, in a sense, it is this, I am Chaita Guru. I am the external manifestation of Chaita Guru, the Guru in the heart. But I am also the chain of parampara. Evam parampara praptam imam rajasya vidu. Sagalena mahata yoga nasta parantapa. So Krishna reestablished the parampara with Arjuna. So the parampara, that is, sort of like a guarantee that if something's... Sorry. Hare Krishna. Ran out of time. thought I had a minute. What? Okay. I thought I had another minute.
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Enam Kanvandam Maravindanalayataksam Varhavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandar Akom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Andani Yasa Sakalem Priya Priti Manti Vasyanti Panti Kayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. 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 Govindam.
Namami Shvaram Satchit Ananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashoda Biolukalat Davamanam Padam Dristam Atyantato Drujagopya Rudantamu Hornetra Yugmam Rijantam Kadam Poja Yugmena Shatanka Netram Muhu swashakam patire kanka kanta. Stipta graivam damodaram bhakti bhatam. Iti Driksa Lila Virananda Kunde Swagosham Nimajantam Akyapayantam. Tadiyeshita Geshu Bhaktayarjitatvam Kuna Prema Tastam Shata Vritti Vande. Varam Deva Moksham Na Mokshavadimva Nachanyam Vineham Vare Shadapiha. Idam Teva Purnata Gopala Palam Sada Memanyasya Virastam Kimanyai. Idam te mukham bojam atyanta nilar Vitam kuntalai snigdha raktaischa gopya. Muhustum bitam bimbarata daran me Manasya virastam alam lakshalabhai. Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Tukha Jalabdi Magnam. Kripa Dristi Vistyati Dinam Bhatanu Grihanesha Mamagya Me Jakshi Drishya. Kuberatmajo Bhata Murchaiva Yadvat Tvaya Mochito Bhakti Vajokito Cha. Tata prema bhaktim svakame prayachcha Namokshe graho mesti damodareha. Namaste stu damne sporadipti damne Tvadiyodarayata vishvasya damne. Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nanta Lilaya Devaya Tubhyam. Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nanta Lilaya Devaya Tubhyam. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe. Jaya Radha Goloka Nanda Radha Goloka Nanda Radhe. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. To the Supreme Controller, who possesses an eternal form of blissful knowledge, whose glistening earrings swing to and fro, who manifested himself in Gokula, who stole the butter that the gopis kept hanging from the rafters of their storerooms, and who then quickly jumped up and ran in retreat in fear of Mother Yashoda, but was ultimately caught. To that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances. Upon seeing his mother's whipping stick, he cried and rubbed his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes were fearful and his breathing quick, and as Mother Yashoda bound his belly with ropes, he shivered in fright and his pearl necklace shook. To this Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, who is bound by his devotees' love, I offer my humble obeisances. Those super excellent pastimes of Lord Krishna's babyhood drowned the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy. To the devotees who are attracted only to his majestic aspect of Narayan in Vaikuntha, the Lord herein reveals, I am conquered and overwhelmed by pure loving devotion. To that Supreme Lord Damodar, my obeisances hundreds and hundreds of times. O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for liberation, nor eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon. My only prayer is that your childhood pastimes may constantly appear in my mind. O Lord, I do not even want to know your feature of Paramatma. I simply wish that your childhood pastimes may ever be enacted in my heart. O Lord, the cheeks of your blackish lotus face, which is encircled by locks of curling hair, have become reddened like bimba fruit due to Mother Yashoda's kisses. What more can I describe than this? Millions of opulences are of no use to me, but may this vision constantly remain in my mind. O unlimited Vishnu, O Master, O Lord, be pleased upon me. I am drowning in an ocean of sorrow and am almost like a dead man. Please shower the rain of mercy upon me, uplift me and protect me with your nectarian vision. O Lord Damodar, in your form as a baby, Mother Yashoda bound you to a grinding stone with a rope for tying cows. You then freed the sons of Kuvera, Mani, Griva, and Nala Kuvera, who were cursed to stand as trees, and you gave them the chance to become your devotees. Please bless me in the same way. I have no desire for liberation into your effulgence. O Lord, the entire universe was created by Lord Brahma, who was born from your abdomen, which was bound with a rope by Mother Yashoda. To this rope I offer my humble obeisances. I offer my obeisances to your most beloved Srimati Radharani and to your unlimited pastimes.
Before we do the Damodarasika, I was trying to end the class and I didn't get to this verse, but if you go home and read Canto 1, Chapter 8, and verse 31, that verse is all about the pastimes of Radha, Yashoda and Krishna. And so it brings around the understanding of what we're doing this month. So Canto 1, Chapter 8, verse number 31, that was the last verse I was going to quote. Oh, I'll read it. My dear Krishna, bound up, my dear Krishna, Yashoda took up a rope to bind you when you committed an offense, and your perturbed eyes overflooded with tears, which washed the mascara from your eyes. And you were afraid, though fear personified is afraid of you. This sight is bewildering to me, and the purport is very, very instructive. Hare Krishna. Chaitanya Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairavya Chandri Kavitaranam Vijavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipanam Pranamrita Swadanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahudan Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita Niyamita Smarane Nakala Etadrishita Vakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishami Hajjani Nanuraga Trinadapi